It is Monday, the 20th day of July 2019. Hello there and welcome to News Tonight here on UBC TV. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. In our news tonight, President Yoweri Museveni meets SECAM delegation. Talks on to salvage Iran nuclear deal. And in sports, Proline to face Vipers in Super 8 tournament. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Mugalu Mohammed and I am Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Museveni and the First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni have met with a delegation of the Symposium of Episcopal Conferences of Africa and Madagascar, SECAM, who are part of the newly elected leadership headed by Bishop Sithembele Anton Sipoka of Mthatha in South Africa, who is the new first vice president of SECAM. The meeting took place today at State House, Entebbe. The delegation is part of more than 200 bishops from Africa and Madagascar that have been in Uganda for over a week, attending the 18th plenary of SECAM and marking the Golden Jubilee celebrations since SECAM was launched at Rubaga Cathedral in 1969 by Pope Paul VI. The visitors to State House thanked President Museveni for supporting them to ensure successful deliberations. President Museveni informed the delegation that it was important for the church to teach a uniform message urging people to get out of poverty. Bishop Sipoka said the SECAM deliberations had revived and edified the Catholic Church. He expressed his impressions with how the church in Uganda had impacted lives of the people through infrastructural developments like Centenary Bank. In a related development, the Catholic Church of Uganda has received a third Basilica, which is a pilgrimage center, worship and a tourist site, and that is the Basilica of Uganda Martyrs Munyonyo, which is found in Kampala Archdiocese and was consecrated in 2017 in the reign of Pope Francis. Speaking after the prayers to sanctify the Munyonyo Basilica, Vice President Edward Chiwanuka II extended thanks to Pope Francis for bestowing the honor to Uganda, which is another testimony of the prominence of the Ugandan matters.
A third Basilica, which is a pilgrimage center, worship and tourist site, the Basilica of Uganda Martyrs Munyonyo, found in Kampala Archdiocese, which was consecrated in 2017 in the reign of Pope Francis. This is in addition to the Basilica of the Blessed Virgin Mary Londoga in Arua Diocese in Nyumbe District, consecrated in 1961 in the reign of Pope St. John the 23rd, and the Basilica of the Ghana Martyrs Namgongo in Kampala Archdiocese, consecrated in 1975 in the reign of Pope VI, and now the Basilica of the Ghana Martyrs Munyonyo in the reign of Pope Francis. The Ugandan Catholic Christians who were martyred in Munyonyo for the sake of Jesus Christ were St. Denis Sebugwawo, St. Andrew Kagwa, also known as Andrea Kawa, and St. Ponciano Ngondwe, who lost their lives on the 26th of May, 1886. Privileges of the Basilica status granted by the Pope include a place to acquire indulgence, which is a remission before God for forgiveness of sins after pilgrimage, special linkage with the Vatican and the Pope, among others. Speaking after the prayers to sanctify the Munyonyo Basilica, the Vice President, Edward Chiwanuka II, extended thanks to Pope Francis for bestowing the honor to Uganda, which is another testimony of the prominence of the Ugandan martyrs. The Vice President said that the historic assertion of Uganda being known as the Pearl of Africa by Sir Winston Churchill yet again receives a new slogan, as Uganda, a place of the Ugandan martyrs, and whose commemoration on the 3rd of June isn't only for Uganda, but an internationally recognized day. He added that the Ugandan martyrs pose a great challenge to the present generation, since their era had no freedom of worship and also hailed the work of the early missionaries for making it possible for worshippers to know the living God. He reiterated the complementary role that the church plays to support government in delivering services to the people in the areas of education and health. He added that government looks forward to the church to become its partner in the fight to eradicate homestead poverty and in the family. The Vice President urged Christians to maintain and support initiatives to better the Munyonyo Basilica together with Kampala Archdiocese. The host Bishop of Kampala Archdiocese, Dr Cyprian Kizito, paid glowing tribute to President Yoweri Museveni and government for the financial resources to develop both Munyonyo and Namugongo pilgrimage sites. He thanked the Almighty God for the lives of the Ugandan martyrs and the early missionaries whose faith continues to fetch testimonies, intercessions, and new converts to Christianity for Jesus Christ. Robert Cardinal Sarah, a Guinean prelate who is the prefect of the Congregation for Divine Worship and Discipline of the Sacraments in the Vatican, presided over the Holy Mass. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanaplia, Sempa.
For Uganda, and of course, the country being one of those very few in the world to have such number of basilica, and of course, a good sign that, yes, the world is taking note of the Ugandan martyrs. To other news now, and the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has requested UNAIDS to fund HIV/AIDS prevention programs for youth in and out of school. The First Lady was meeting a UNAIDS delegation at State House Nakasero, which included UNAIDS Global Ambassador and co-chair of the Global HIV Prevention Coalition, Professor Sheila Tlu, the UNAIDS country representative in Uganda, Karusa Kirago Gikonyo, and Dr. Saman Zamani, the Global Fund Uganda portfolio manager. Mrs. Museveni added that a lot has been done in the last 30 years to fight HIV/AIDS spread, and with the positive results of the Prevention of Mother-to-Child Transmission campaign. However, it was hoped that infection rates would go down, but it is frustrating to know that whatever is being done is just but a drop in the ocean. Mrs. Museveni wondered why the HIV infection rates are not reducing and the African continent has not made headway in the fight against HIV/AIDS like the other continents. According to UNAIDS estimates 2019, new HIV infection in Uganda for all ages is at 53,000, while among young people 15 to 24 years it is at 19,000. Professor Sheila Tlu explained the overarching goal of the Global HIV Prevention Coalition is to strengthen and sustain a political commitment for primary prevention by setting a common agenda among key policymakers, funders, and program implementers. Let's shift our attention now and go to the courtroom where High Court has set the 31st of August 2019 for ruling the case of Dr. Stella Nyanzi over the appeal of the proceedings on cyber harassment and offensive communication. Now, this follows her lawyer's request to allow her to recall her witnesses for cross-examination, which was denied by the presiding magistrate, Gladys Kamasanyu, as we hear in this report.
In November 2018, Dr. Stella Nyanzi was to answer charges of cyber harassment and offensive communication under the Computer Misuse Act of 2011. The charges followed a poem that she posted on her Facebook account referring to the deceased mother of the president. However, 3 days to the judgment, Nyanzi's lawyers, led by Isaac Semakade, petitioned court to stop the judgment, faulting the trial magistrate Gladys Kamasanyu for denying her right for trial.
Ruling against our submission of no case to answer. Upon filing a prima facie case, we were ambushed with the question whether we had any witnesses that time. And as counsel, at that time, I had always been informed of 5 to 7 witnesses who were willing to come forward voluntarily. But I said, I will need time, and it's clear. I will need time to confirm if that position is still the same, because we thought we would win that day and bring the whole process to an end. But now that there was a new event,
Nyanzi, who opted to remain silent, had lined up 5 categories of witnesses, including the president as key witness, cyber investigation experts, including Grace Akulo, the CIID boss, and other linguistic and cultural experts. Nyanzi, through her lawyers, blamed Magistrate Kamasanyi for forcing her to close her defense case without presenting a single witness.
It was wrong for the landed magistrate to start saying the president is not competent, citing many authorities which were not relevant at that point. The question of comparability of the president had not arisen at that point.
However, prosecution denies allegations and blames Nyanzi and her lawyers for misconduct. Prosecution asked Justice Jane Francis Abodo to dismiss application for review and remit the case file back.
We contend that the trial court is both independent and impartial. And further, it has at all times endeavored to adjudicate on this case before in a fair and speedy manner as envisaged in the Constitution. The Defense Counsel has time and again implored court to fast-track the case. However, it's the defense which is again architecturing delays. This is against the provisions of Section 17(2) of the Judicature Act.
Justice Jane Francis Abodo, however, set 31st July for ruling of the appeal case. Stella Nyanzi has been on remand in Luzira for over 6 months. Susan Naonga and Gloria Gwitabinji.
Health sector now, where Uganda Virus Research Institute has unveiled a new research to study the behavior of mosquitoes, which are the primary vector for malaria. Now, the institute, under the Target Malaria Project, will reduce the population of mosquitoes. Adiana Kuti reports.
The new insectary research laboratory at Uganda Virus Research Institute will act as a study center on mosquitoes, the primary transmitters of malaria. The third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Community Affairs, Chirunda Chivejinja, opened the research laboratory and pledged government's commitment towards fighting malaria burden.
The benefits of technological advancement in the developed countries have not yet fully reached the rural Ugandan citizens, largely due to our limited capacity for technology transfer, adoption, and utilization. The traditional indigenous technology capacity has been eroded through the introduction of Western technologies. Therefore, Uganda's technological capacity has for some time been adversely affected by unfavorable political and economic environment, leading to prolonged technological dependency on developed nations.
Malaria accounts for 30 to 40% of hospital visits and 15 to 20% of hospital admissions in Uganda.
The prevalence of malaria has dropped, right, Prime Minister, from 19% way back in 2014 to currently 9%, that is in 2018-2019, and this is according to Malaria Indicator Survey. Much as the prevalence has reduced, there has been outbreak of malaria in northern Uganda, most especially. There has been outbreak in West Nile regions. There has been outbreak of malaria in Karamoja region.
Uganda Virus Research Institute is collaborating with the Target Malaria Consortium to test appropriate strategies for control of malaria. Using molecular biology, the Target Malaria Project aims at modifying malaria-transmitting mosquitoes.
Several species of insects transmit a variety of pathogens. And in Uganda, mosquitoes are especially notorious. They transmit pathogens for diseases like malaria and arboviruses. So we carry out research to be able to generate information and knowledge, but also build capacity to be able to inform control approaches that are new, but then also to develop new control tools. So towards this, we have flagship projects, and one of them is the Target Malaria Research Partnership, where we are trying to explore the use of genetic modification in the control of malaria-transmitting mosquitoes. So for this, the idea is pretty simple. It's that if we could genetically modify malaria-transmitting mosquitoes, we can then reduce their ability to reproduce. And if that can happen, we could then curtail the transmission of malaria because of the reduced numbers of the mosquito vectors.
The Target Malaria Project is being implemented in 4 countries: Uganda, Kenya, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Adiana Kute, UBC.
Now, the Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebe II, has invited Sultan Muhammadu Saad Abakar II, the titular ruler of Sokoto, northern Nigeria, as the chief guest during the 26th coronation anniversary. The Catechumen of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, spoke to visiting delegations from Sokoto in northern Nigeria, Niger and Ethiopia, who are in Uganda ahead of the anniversary.
A delegation from Sokoto Caliphate of Nigeria, led by Haj Sumaila Muhammad, the Mir of Angugu, arrived at Hotel African in Kampala for a briefing about Buganda Kingdom. They are in the country to attend Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebe's 26th coronation. These were later joined by another delegation from Niger, Ethiopia, Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom, and Tienga Dola. Catechumen Charles Peter Maiga took the visiting delegation through the history of Buganda, one of the most powerful kingdoms in Africa.
The formation of Uganda, the country, was based on the existence of the different nationalities whose histories go back centuries of years. The Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom is an old institution. It predates Uganda by hundreds of years. So are other communities. The Kingdom of Buganda is about 800, 900 years old. We predate Uganda. Uganda's borders, as you see them today, were finalized in 1926. My father was alive then. You can see how young these countries are in Africa. We work for the unity of all citizens. We believe in the unity of all citizens, the unity of all Ugandans. But in our view, that does not diminish our attachment to our heritage. And I don't think it hampers national unity. We are from different cultural institutions here. We work very well together.
The Catechumen said the Kabaka of Buganda has been at the home of ensuring a healthy and educated population, the theme for this year's 26th coronation anniversary.
We learn about cultures, we learn about investments. We believe in the Kingdom of Buganda that culture should be for the social and economic transformation of the people. The theme for this year's coronation anniversary is health and education.
This campaign has been further boosted by the Nabagereko of Uganda Sovia Najinda through High Sakate program, where more girls enroll for training on preserving moral values.
Promotes the nurturing of children in healthy environments where learning and emotional needs are met. We aim at ensuring that in the upbringing of children there is intergenerational transfer of positive attitudes, knowledge, values, and life skills.
The visit cements the relationship between Buganda and other cultural institutions. The Sultan of Sokoto Caliphate of Nigeria, His Eminence Saad Abubakar Muhammad III, is expected to jet in the country tomorrow, ahead of Kabaka Mutebi's 26th coronation anniversary, which is slated to take place Wednesday 31st July at Nkumba University grounds in Tebe. Bernard Iga, UBC TV, in Kampala.
Thanks, Bernard, for that report there. Now, the forgery case against Chief Executive Director, Shumuk Aluminium Industries, Mukesh Babubai, is before Buganda Road Magistrate Stella Nyanzi. Rigwira Katatumba was the first prosecution witness who said that Mukesh forged documents for ownership of hotel Diplomat in Muyanga.
The defense team of Mukesh Babubai found it difficult to believe testimony presented by Rigwira Katatumba. The family of late Boni Katatumba pinned Mukesh Babubai for forgery of letters allegedly signed by their late father. Rigwira Katatumba told court how he knew Mukesh Babubai as a fraudster who forged 6 letters for the official handover of Hotel Diplomat. It is alleged that after the forgery of the documents, Mukesh uttered them before Machinde Magistrate Court on 16th November 2017. He purported that they had been signed by family members and directors of Hotel Diplomat.
Basically, the evidence was based on the forgeries and uttering a false document by Mukesh Shukra, which he uttered on his affidavit that he attached on his application to Machinde Court, where he purportedly claimed, he was claiming that they had handed over the Hotel Diplomat, the Katatumba family had handed over the Hotel Diplomat to him as his, whereas not. And that's why he's here being charged for forgery and uttering a false document.
5 state witnesses are yet to testify on the alleged Shumuk forgery. However, Counsel Wambale David, representing Shumuk, said the evidence produced against his client was insufficient. Wambale said, if proved not guilty, the prosecutors will pay damages.
The witness, you can say, a person who doesn't believe in anything really, who doesn't have any faith. What do you expect him to say? So this is a person who can say anything at any time, and he doesn't even have any sense of shame. You see, he's the same person who said he had told the police and written it in his statement that Mukesh forged. When we gave him the statement, there's nothing like that. So you see, they are just trying to formulate certain things so that they can be able to pin down the man.
Mukesh is facing 13 counts of forgery, uttering forged documents and conspiracy to commit a felony.
I think courts will do the appropriate justice within next few months, I suppose, and justice will prevail. Hallelujah.
The case was adjourned to August 13th and 14th. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Meanwhile, the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament has tasked the former Permanent Secretary, Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Mr. Vijirimana Piya, to explain the delays in recovery of the 173 billion shillings or youth livelihood funds. Now, this is after the committee found out that the money in question disbursed in financial year 2017-2018 was not recovered, as per the Auditor General's report. We have more on that in this report.
The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, chaired by Budadiri West Member of Parliament Nathan Nandala Mafabi, faulted Minister of Gender over poor budget absorption of the youth livelihood funds. Appearing before the Parliament Accounts Committee of Parliament were officials from Minister of Gender, led by the former Permanent Secretary Piya Vijirimana, to respond to the queries raised in the audit queries of 2018. The audit query indicates that out of 173 billion, the 26.2 billion meant for youth livelihood funds and women entrepreneurs fund was misappropriated, which showed poor absorption of resources.
Now the following year, you collect 30%. Is that 30% for the money we released in that year, or it includes part of the 74%?
You see, figures don't tell lies. Figures are figures. It's not like Vasco da Gama went where 1 + 1 is 2. Can I request that you allow us, the program manager, to go back and sit down and give you what was released 2014, 2015.
The committee also learned that the ministry spent 3.7 billion on domestic areas against the budget of 183 million, which according to MPs violates the Public Finance Management Act by diverting funds to activities not assigned to. However, the principal accountant notified the committee that the areas were utilities and sage clearance.
2017. Now, and you treat it as a recovery of this period, you'll be using wrong data. Because I'm paying areas which should have been recovered in 2016, 2017.
I get you.
You're getting me.
Includes the balance that we've carried forward.
The areas?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
The committee chairperson, Nandala Mafabi, tasked officials to present all paper evidence in the next meeting. Weeks ago, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Janati Mukwaya, confirmed the difficulty in recovering the youth livelihood funds, claiming that many youth had treated the funds as a government aid. Susan Naonga reporting.
Thanks, Susan, for that report there. Now, retired Archbishop Luke Orombi has urged leaders to support the education of children from Greater Nebi. He says the literacy rate of Greater Nebi district at 43% is too low to bring development to the area. Orombi was addressing Christians who had converged to celebrate an honorary doctorate of divinity from Zoya Life Theological College, Philadelphia, in the United States of America. Haruna gives us more.
Christians from Greater Nebi lined up to welcome the retired Archbishop Luke Orombi in Piya municipality. Orombi was awarded the honorary doctorate of divinity by Zoe Life Theological College, Philadelphia, in the USA, in recognition of his outstanding performance in shaping humanity. Archbishop Luke Orombi encouraged leaders to support the education of children from Greater Nebi.
As a servant of the people, we need to be very sacrificial. Leadership means people put trust in you, and when they put trust in you, it means you don't let them down.
State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Kwechinyi, said the achievement was on record for Greater Nebi.
The Archbishop, I don't know whom you have not prayed for. You pray for the country, you pray for our district, you pray for our diocese, and every day you are saying, come to me and get blessings. And so I thought, maybe this is one way.
Ola County Member of Parliament Lawrence Songa appreciated the Archbishop's services to West Nile region.
Nothing in all the things we talk, which remain in my head up to today, he emphasized the issue of trust.
Archbishop Luke Orombi served as Archbishop of Uganda and Bishop of Kampala from 2004 until his retirement in December 2012, and he was succeeded by Stano Intagari. Mutesa Sira Haruna reporting for UBC News.
From Northern Uganda, let's now go east to Busia, where the Ikumbania of Bugwere Kingdom, His Royal Highness Bishop John Chrysostom Weyabaire, has clarified on the role of traditional leaders. He refuted allegations that kings are satanic. He was visiting Bugwere subjects living in Busia, eastern Uganda, to discuss development strategies and bring projects that benefit the people of Bugwere. Now, he told his subjects that development will come with leaders. Busia Municipality Legislator Geoffrey Macho said that a partnership with Samia Bugwe has been delayed by gazetting their king, Omwenengo Wanyama Philip.
at least on me, I'm the acting.
Congratulations,
Chairman of the Kings. Kali njaba mbozo okulagana naye tubone nti izayina esindowooza bagazetedi mbozo omuliro olutalo bwowaawe
nengo bwesamya ohola bwehale bilayi abasamya bagwe babeere nibandiika amabaruwa mu ministry ya gender nibabulokinga ebintu bino mbeere mbasaba bwe mwakame.
I've been long in this for a long time, but today God has given us a chance of meeting you.
The delay of gazetting of our leader is affecting service delivery because you look at the rate of children dropout in Piya compared to other areas like the Uganda, like the Uganda and the Busoga. Look at the benefits that those kingdoms are getting. They are getting scholarships. They are getting enough money for primary health care, for immunization, because their kingdoms are really involved.
It's coming to 35 minutes after 10. We'll now take a short break while we return with business news. Stay with us.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sa Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP Center number.
Nabubi yazimba kumutya muwanvu
enkuba yatonya nabubi yakwa
Ekyama kya Busoga kikino nga ni Kagulu Rock nkola olusozi olw'ekagulu mu igombola ly'ekagulu mu district ey'Ebuyende. Ida tuninala olusozi olw'ekagulu ni President wa Uganda Yoweri Museveni ng'akyazibwa Isefe ky'abazinga wa Busoga William Wilberforce Kadumbula Gabula Nalyopo wokuna ni Speaker wa Parliament Mama Rebecca Itwala Kadaga era ng'empiya bukalina obuteereyi bwawo obw'okuwangulibwa abonabona banga banina olusozi luno baalutuuka ku ntwiko oyida kuba ng'osobola okubona Busoga okuva yava okutuuka yakanga olengera ebibira olengera ensozi edindi agayanda n'omwiga kiro okusinga obuwanvu munsi yonayona Kagulu nkoye lusozi lwa byafaayo ng'omusoke yasooka yava ebunolo wano niwe yatuukira oyitaabo n'empukumu yasulanga niwe yalimiranga ennimiro de nga bino byonna bya bwereere abantu okuva ebule n'ebweya bali kwekonda okuyida okubaawo okunina olusozi luno weenaba omu kwabo.
Bino byonna byakubaawo olwamu kagangena ku omwezi 17 omwezi ogw'omunaana omwaka 2019.
Empakedde okunina olusozi Kagulu dikutuusibwako minisitule y'ebyobulambuzi n'ebyeyira mu bwakyabazinga bwa Busoga kyateebwamu epiya.
President w'Iwanga, Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Sanctuary Hotels Kamuli, UBC TV, Madvan Group of Companies, Big Fair, awalala
Hill water, purity, nothing less.
Displays that will leave you enthralled. Make a date with us during the first Sunday of every month. With over 2,000 participants at one venue, we aim to keep healthy, network, ensure viable brand positioning, and make friends while having fun during our monthly sports festival.
The long line hassle. With 1xBet, the power of placing the perfect bet is at your fingertips. Bet anytime from anywhere. Best of all, payment is instant. Place your bet on whatever you choose. Virtual games, bet games, sports, and even live betting. Winning has never been this simple. Bet with 1xBet. Advanced gaming is regulated by the Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. Betting is addictive and can be psychologically harmful, and it's only eligible to persons above 18 years of age.
Welcome back from that short break, and you are watching News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, some news pertaining to what's happening in the world of business. Uganda Airlines officially received an air operator certificate from the Civil Aviation Authority. Now, the certificate was handed over to the airline management by the Executive Director, Civil Aviation Authority, David Kakuba, at the Ministry of Finance headquarters here in Kampala. Senono Stanley Hasbo.
Which in essence authorizes them not only to operate regionally but internationally.
Uganda Airlines has completed a 90-day certification process, which has seen the airline prove to the Civil Aviation Authority that it has trained staff, maintenance providers, and systems to enable safe and secure operation of commercial flights.
And I'm glad to tell you that we made Uganda Airlines go through this gruesome process until we were satisfied. And of course, we were always comparing notes with the chief international regulator, ICAO. And I can assure you that with us, we are more than satisfied.
The airline will take to the skies next month, and the acting CEO, Engineer Ephraim Bagenda, says all efforts are geared towards achieving this.
Now that we have the AOC in hand, the systems that we had registered with, IATA and all these other organizations that manage aircraft reservation systems, passenger sales, and everything else, which we had in test mode, now they will be activated because now we are an airline. And through the Ministry of Works and through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we are going to actualize those BASAs, the bilateral air service agreements we have with many countries. And they will give us flight slots into their airspace and landing slots into their airports. And from there on, we already have a timetable, a flight timetable.
Bagenda also adds that there are currently negotiations to secure alliances,
whereby that allows you, even if you don't fly to the certain destinations, you are in cooperation with those airlines which fly there. And those airlines which don't fly here, even their passengers can fly here on our services. So all those will be signed up. We're already in negotiations. We have meetings coming from next week onwards to engage those people and arrange for those interline and many other agreements.
Works and Transport Minister Engineer Monica Zubantege, on her part, decried the negative publicity that has bogged the airline.
You see so many other countries, they're very proud to travel on their national airlines. But instead of looking forward, we should not go, or you should not go publishing negativity to send away passengers.
In days leading to the delivery of the 2 CRJ-900 jetliners, Parliament was forced to pass a supplementary budget to facilitate the timely delivery, with Uganda Airlines narrowly surviving being fined by the manufacturer. And to avoid a repeat of this scenario, Finance Minister Piya Kasaija says government will this time round prioritize Uganda Airline activities. Kasaija also cautioned the airline's management to run the entity as a business.
Nobody should take credit from you when you don't know that he will pay, whoever it is. Every department, every agency, every government sector has its budget. If they have to book you, they should book you and they pay. If you really get any person who refuses to pay you, government official, please let us know. Any department that refuses to pay you, we will now deduct the money at source and give it to you. We don't want to hear that the airline is collapsing for lack of money.
Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Tough talking Finance Minister Kasaija there. Now, the Consulate of the Republic of Uganda in Mombasa is to hold the 3rd Trade and Business Facilitation Symposium in Mombasa, Kenya. Addressing journalists at the media center here in Kampala, Mombasa Consul Ambassador Katurebe Tayebwa said the symposium will address challenges of counterfeit products. Here is our reporter, Henry Okrot.
Issues of focus include strengthening cooperation and enhancing coordination and partnerships among stakeholders in the trade value chain. This will support the business community in utilizing the electronic single window for customs clearance of goods.
Our tea, which is one of our major exports, gets its way to the international market through the port of Mombasa. So there is a genuine reason for us to look at Mombasa as a strategic port for us. And when we bring that symposium in Mombasa, we are really addressing issues that affect our business community and our producers and our actors.
Providing increased understanding of key trends in combating counterfeit products, enlightening the tax policy and administration and the rationale to pay taxes will also be discussed.
It also helps to identify and understand why are we taxed. Because if you pay your taxes and you don't see any service rendered, you get annoyed. But when you go to such a symposium, you see what the money that is charged from your tax, what it is doing. I think it's one of the major issues that will help us in understanding and appreciating why such symposiums are taking place.
Then, the standard gauge railway whose construction is yet to kick off in Uganda.
We are bound by the SGR protocol, which was signed by Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, and Sudan as the partner countries where this project is going to take place. We have been following up all the regional directives regarding the SGR, and as far as we're concerned, it's progressing well on the Ugandan side, and it's being planned to take place in accordance with the protocol that was signed.
Another challenge facing East African member countries despite the EAC protocol is both tariff and non-tariff barriers. This was downplayed by the head of public diplomacy at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Alfred Nam.
We have a customs union. A customs union, East African Customs Union, means only goods within the East African Community area will not have tariffs. But all other goods that are imported into the region from abroad, those goods attract tariffs. So I think I should make it very clear there.
The 3rd Trade and Business Facilitation Symposium is organized in collaboration with the High Commission of the Republic of Uganda in Nairobi. Slated for 12th to 14th August 2019, it will establish a platform for information sharing among its partners and stakeholders. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Let's go further afield, where talks to try to save the Iran nuclear deal have been held amid rising tensions over tankers in the Gulf. After meeting officials from Britain, France, Germany, Russia and China in Vietnam, a senior Iranian official said the atmosphere had been constructive. Tensions have soured since the United States withdrew from the 2015 accord last year and reimposed sanctions. In recent weeks, Iran and Britain have seized a tanker each, putting further pressure on the 2015 accord. Iran has also admitted breaching restrictions on its production of enriched uranium used to make reactor fuel, but also potentially nuclear bombs. Now, the aim of the emergency talks was to ease recent tensions and keep the 2015 agreement, officially known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, alive.
Brought to you by Bet with 1xBet.
Sports news now, and of course proudly brought to you by 1xBet, and we begin with football, where a FUFA Super 8 tournament returns this Tuesday as Proline faces Vipers in the first leg game. Currently, Proline players are in a residential camp at the technical camp in Njeru. Amon Gabo gives us more.
If it is the test they need, Proline FC has had it all before the commencement of the 2019-2020 Uganda Premier League season, competing in the Sekafa Kagame Cup, losing in the group stages, hosting numerous friendlies, with the recent one where they beat Lutenge Boys 20-0. Proline are on the right course. Now focuses on the Super 8 tournament, where they face Vipers Sports Club. Proline will face Vipers on Tuesday 30th at the StarTime Stadium in Lugogo. Vipers are a better side coming to this game, though Proline have been tested enough. Head coach Shafik Bisaso says the game against Vipers is a test before continental engagements.
Vipers match is a good test for us, not that a big match for us, because we're going to take it as a friendly match. Our main aim is on a confederation, and that's where we are putting all our efforts, on the confederation. But the Viper game is a good test for us ahead of the Confederation Cup.
Proline FC is the reigning Uganda Cup holder, the first big league club to win the trophy. After tomorrow's game, the winner will automatically proceed to the semi-finals, then the finals, with 60 million shillings at stake for the overall winner. Proline's next step will be to pay $10,000 to FUFA as collateral security, confirming their participation in the CAF Confederation Cup. They will also be required to avail CAF with their 30-man list of players and confirmation that they will share Philip Omondi Stadium alongside KCCA-FC. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBS TV.
Chase news now, where Chase Parents and Guardians Association, CPGA, continues to move the sport to all corners of the country. Now, their latest stop at St. Henry's College, Chitovu in Masaka for the Southern Region CPGA Youth Chess Championship. Here is our sports reporter, John Barnes, Sentamo.
Mustard Seed Senior Secondary School has dominated the podium during the Chess Parents and Guardians Association Youth Championship at St. Henry's College, Chitovu, Masaka. This was the third leg of this championship that has turned out to be appreciated for bringing this valuable game close to learners for the first time ever.
There is one thing that this student ladies give that many other people will not do, and that is having particular time to think, particular time to plan, particular time to strategize with a target.
The championship, sponsored by Jessa Milk, Stanbic Bank and Nirvana Water, has been to Masaka, Jinja and Gulu, with the next stop being Mbarara for the Western Region qualifiers.
We found out that chess has been on in Kampala. Most of our primary schools do not access this opportunity. So we had to come up with this with fellow partners and said as just how we're going to sponsor this chess.
This stop at St. Henry's College Kitovu has been dominated by Mustard Seed Secondary School, which was excellent in the female section.
You want to see more of your friends come into this room and play, and that is your responsibility. All we want from you is teach one other child how to play chess.
The championship is contested for in various age categories, including 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Various category top 3 players are rewarded handsomely and also qualify for the national final due in Kampala later this year. John Barnes, Sentamu, reporting.
Boxing now, where Kamosha residents will be thrilled to action-packed boxing in the National Novices Boxing Championship due to take place at the Kira Road Police Playgrounds on the 1st of August this year. Now, the championship will be preceded by the medical team that will be performing various medical tests with the boxers to ensure that they are in good shape for the challenge. 31st July will be the weighing in of boxers, where over 600 will be expected to embrace the competition that features all categories. BetOn, a sports betting company, has donated protective gears to Uganda Boxing Federation as part of its corporate social responsibility.
BetOn, as even betting companies in Uganda, before you get a license, there is some CSR you're supposed to do, common social or corporate social responsibilities, whatever you'd call it. So giving back to boxing is actually developing, because when you give equipment to a boxer, they will be enticed to come and go for the game of boxing, and that is part of developing a country, which is seen in the bigger picture as BetOn doing its work and giving a reason as to why they were given a license. That is one of our targets. The other target is, of course, BetOn would love to make money from the odds. When the bouts are interesting, when you guys put it out there and people come to watch the boxers, and people are interested and put up, that is, place bets, and BetOn makes money, it means it's the same money they will have to give back to Uganda Boxing Federation, and Uganda Boxing Federation, through their procedures, it is the same amount or the same equipment they are going to give a boxer. So in that way, BetOn is winning.
One of BetOn is very timely, and for us as UBF, these are things we promised people, that we're going to try as much as we can to attract sponsorship, make the sport corporate, and this is one of the things that we are doing. So Black Excellency and Olivia, they were able to convince BetOn, and BetOn has come through with huge packages like you can see. Those things you see there, those bodyguards, I think we are going to be the first contact sport organization with such equipment. Bodyguards, they have not been around. We've always used gloves, we've used pads and etc jerseys, but the bodyguards, even Musa will tell you, not so many coaches have them. So this is very useful for us, because normally we do pad work, but the body punches, normally we don't have where to practice from. So with the coming on of BetOn, that solves a huge problem.
And lastly, to the corporate league, and John Barnes Sentamu tells us that the 6th outing of the 2019 corporate league attracted numerous players and fans contesting football, netball and basketball at Kyambogo University.
Is playing with us, Parliament of Uganda this morning. So bagaya bali eyo mukulu te mutema nnyo. Opposition nete mu mutema abali ku ludda luli. Muyinza okubaamu akasaayisa yako. Osman Basariwa, thank you for turning up and kindly enjoy the outing. This is the corporate league. This is our 6th outing.
The battle for places in the knockout stages of the 2019 Corporate League has gathered pace, as exemplified during the 6th outing at Chambogo University Playground. In some of the football games played, Hotel Africana beat National Social Security Fund 3-1, Centenary Bank edged CBS 1-0, and later beat Stanchart 2-1.
3 points for Pepsi.
As it stands, Centenary Bank, Civil Aviation Authority, Uganda Land Board and DFCU Bank occupy top positions in Group A. In Group B, Cipla Quality Chemicals, Hotel Africana, Coca-Cola and Stanbic Bank are dominant in this group phase, whose 8 best teams will progress to the round of 16.
The quality, especially this football, has been a bit disturbed because of the weather. The rains have been too much from Feb to like last month. The rains were too much, so sometimes we could not play to our standards because of the pitches in Ambole, Chadondo, doubting. But otherwise, the players, our teams have started. The discipline is now okay somehow. At least we have fewer indisciplined cases.
In netball, Uganda Land Board won the gold medal match after defeating Cipla Quality Chemicals, with the SCD Darling 3rd and Coca-Cola 4th. The basketball final couldn't be played as night fell, but when it is, Cipla Quality Chemicals will face Uganda National Roads Authority. To get there, Uganda National Roads Authority ejected Centenary Bank, while Stanbic Bank fell to Cipla. John Barnes, Sentamu, reporting.
Brought to you by Bet with 1xBet.
We've almost come to the end of the news this Monday, the 29th day of July 2019. But before we leave you, let's have a quick reminder of our top stories. In our news tonight, President Yoweri Museveni meets a second delegation. Talks on to salvage Iran nuclear deal. And in sports, Proline to face Vipers in Super 8 tournament. And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for having kept us company on sign language. It has been Mugalu Mohammed, and I am Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. But I'll leave you with a weather forecast for tomorrow, and see you tomorrow.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the Weather Center. My name is Molin Kenyana.